the document. Okay, so what we're, I was going to show you what was on there besides that. It wasn't much. So this is it here, SCRE, Windows 2012, okay, so that was what it's made from. And then the rest of this here is indication it's a bootable drive. So that's how a bootable drive looks as a boot manager file.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to restart this machine, can I do that from here? Nope. It's the difference between Windows 8 and,
yeah.
no, come over here. To the charms. Power, shutter down. Yes, planned. Okay. So this little key can be used really on any of your servers, any computer, technically. If you needed to make a backup of your laptop, you can put it in there. If your laptop supports USB boot, you can load the same environment, and it'll have this effect. So we're off. I'm going to power it on. I could have restarted. I mean, just done a reset too, but I just chose to start from the cold start here. And then you have to watch for it because it's going to detect it. And then sometimes you have to hit spacebar to boot from a CD or DVD. Let's see what happens. It's also possible in the BIOS to block it from booting this. So if it doesn't see this USB, it's because I have to go to the BIOS and say enable boot from USB device. And that may be the case with any computer you approach. And it won't boot from there, then go check the BIOS settings. And the older ones wouldn't even allow you to boot from a USB. Then you go to the disk, optical drive. This is so slow to compare to what this is. We still have to do the power and self-test, though. It hasn't even tried to boot from this USB yet. It's still inventorying its own the server resources right now. Boot menu F6. That's a surefire way of getting to pick what it boots from. And what it sees right now is it's going to boot Windows Server 2012. Well, that's not real informational for me. I can't tell if that's my USB or if that's the system. I think it's booting off the system. It's a little confusing. I think it's just booting Server 2012. Yep, that's not the right one. My bad. Using the wrong password.
Every time somebody's watching, you can't type it.
No, I tried using your other server password.
Oh.
It won't work. Okay, coming down. Let's do a restart. And then intervene on. I'm going to go into the BIOS settings to make sure that it has a USB boot enabled. F2 is that magical key, which does prompt on the screen F2 here eventually. And it'll tell us entering setup if it sees my key. Entering setup. I must have booted. No, I did boot from this thumb drive. I was going to say this might be an untested thumb drive. Pretty sure it's booted. If all else fails, we'll go to the disk. Still, even though we've told it we just want to go set up, it still has to inventory the disk drive, so a little bit of a hesitation here. There we go. All right, we're just going to jump over here. Let's see, here's USB configuration stuff. USB, it sees my flash drive. So that's good. It means it's enabled. And then we go to boot options here, and it's going to first go for the boot manager. that's okay. I don't know. That one's more
I
here.
thought there was something, go back to your USB, I thought there was
I
something
think
that
it's too
said,
big.
oh,
What'd you see on
I
there?
thought I saw something on there that said boot enabled, but I didn't see what it was set at. Going to that?
USB controller enable, legacy enabled, make it.
Make use
Oh.
of devices non-bootable, yeah, that's, here we go,
Enable, this removes them as boot options.
right,
There you go. Now, where this gets to be a problem is if you have a USB, say, your Hyperlock dock, if it has a partition that looks like it should be bootable, it'll
to
keep
boot
you from loading your
there.
operating system.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why we often disable that. But it has a price. Okay, so now we're going to come out over here and we're going to save, exit. Yes. Now we should see this show up as an option. I should be able to still use F6 to keep control of who boots, and it should show up as an option if there is. So when the prompt comes up to select your boot device, I'll be pressing F6 rather than rely on it to see it. Give me the chance to hit space bar.
Mhm.
This is much more controlled. Except for these delays. Lots of idle time. You have a pause button.